Thank you for joining today's webinar. We will give it a few more minutes for people to join and we will start shortly. Hello and welcome for our webinar on Temenos Transact for retail banking. My name is Saurabh and I am the moderator for today's session. A few guidelines for today's session. The session will be for 60 minutes. The first 45 to 50 minutes, the speaker will talk on the topic, followed by Q&As. We encourage you to submit your question to today's presenter by typing your questions into the question pane in the GoToWebinar control panel. You can send in your questions at any time during the session. We will collate this and post them to the presenter towards the end of the session. Today's webinar is getting recorded and you will be notified via email within 48 hours. This would also available in Maverick website within 4 working days. Let me introduce you to our speaker for today. We have Roslyn Vihila. She works as Principal Functional Consultant at Maverick Systems. Roslyn has a long association in Temenos world. She has more than 16 plus years of experience in Temenos core banking solutions. As a functional consultant, she has specialization in retail banking modules enriched with multiple implementation projects for various global clients. Now, I'd like to request Roslyn to proceed ahead with the webinar.
Thank you, Saurabh. Hello, everyone. I am Roslyn, working as a part of Solution and Practice team in Maverick. It's my pleasure to connect with you all and share my knowledge and experience in Temenos Transact for your benefits. Referring the current situation, there is an increased improvement of technology and customer needs are getting increased. Also, we face new normal situation like COVID-19. All these demand any core banking solution to get enhanced to meet all those modern necessities. And we have a hands-on solution for that. It is Temenos Transact. Hence, we decided to give an insight on Temenos Transact, especially for retail banking in this session. We'll start with an introduction about Temenos Transact, and then we'll see why we need Temenos Transact and what are its benefits. And then we'll detail a list of enhanced features of it. And finally, we'll bring the available options to transform your banking system to Temenos Transact. With that plan, we'll move to know about Temenos Transact. Well, with the continuous invention and enhancements, Temenos has brought this product, which is a market-leading core banking solution with a comprehensive set of functionality. Nowadays, major banks are moving towards digital banking as per the demand. The market demands that. And Transact also has been designed to meet this digital transformation with the help of API-driven integration. These APIs will act as a communicator between Transact and the third-party system, so that it will make the communication or the integration of the system very easier. And Transact provides end-to-end solution for retail banking. And also, Transact helps to create products, personalized products for the banks in a very fast way. And it helps to upgrade, that is, if a bank needs to upgrade only a business component, say it as a deposit, Transact allows that to do. And also it supports solution for new normal situations. Let's see how Transact will meet all these expectations as we progress here. We have a lot of advanced technologies, applications, and products in the market now. Even Temenos has released Temenos Infinity for digital front office and Temenos Payment Hub for payments. Therefore, for any core banking solution, it became necessary to communicate and to be integrated with a third-party system so easily. And for that, Temenos Transact has API structure. These APIs can be plugged in either with Temenos products or with the third-party system like bank peripheral system or open banking ecosystem, and they can start communicate with Transact to get data, to create transactions, or even to modify contracts. As you all know, the trend is cloud technology. Major banks prefer their database to be to follow cloud technology, and Transact will work in a very perfect way with cloud technology. Let it be cloud native or cloud agnostic, it will be a perfect fit. And also, it supports on-premise database too, as usual. Hence, Transact is going to help your bank to bring a unified solution in order to modernize your bank. To the subject, Temenos has an end-to-end solution for retail banking. If we take accounts, it supports any type of accounts, let it be current accounts, savings accounts, blocked accounts, and notice accounts. It has built-in functionality with all the required features like overdraft, closure, active, inactive, statements, and rest and charges. And also, we can create any type of deposits. Let it be a term deposit or let it be a fixed term deposit. It has a complete coverage of functionality along with partial or full funding, partial or full withdrawal. Let it be different interest types. It has the complete coverage. And also, it has a built-in rollover functionality. And a bank can have customer payouts. Also, we can create any kind of various type of lending products. And it has the complete coverage of functionality starting from commitment, disbursement, predefined payment schedules, along with various payment types. And it has a very mature limit structure, also overdue processing. And we can create different type of interests for lending products too. With that brief on Transact and retail banking functionality, we are moving to know why we need Transact and what are its benefits. I have classified all its benefits into these 5 categories, and let's see one by one. The primary one is reusability. Transact has common reusable repository of components as I have listed here. Customer eligibility limit, overdue payout rules, anything is an individual component now here in Transact. So what we can do is that we can pick all the relevant, what are the required components for our product. We can just pick them, bind them together and create the required product. And say, for example, if a bank is going to have the same eligibility condition for its customers to avail any product, let it be account or deposit or lending, if the customer needs to be at the with the age of greater than 18 years, they can create one single eligibility condition for that, and they can attach that across products. It can be account product or it can be a deposit product. You can reuse this component. And another important feature is about flexible framework. As I have given here, it is a 3-step process, and product lines always will be published by Temenos. For example, deposits or accounts. From there, a bank can create its own product group. And from there, that is a high level classification. From there, the bank can create either standalone product or parent-child product concept of products. If a bank needs to create, an independent product like 2-year fixed term deposit for its business needs, it just can create a standalone product 2 years with fixed term deposit. And the other way, if we prefer a structure to have a high level product called fixed term deposit first, and then a child of it, like for 1 year term, a different product, for 2 year terms, different product. If such structure they prefer, they can go for parent child concepts. This structure, no, this flexible structure helps banks to construct more banking products. And these, as I said, these products can be standalone or follow inheritance. And I have a use case for this benefit. We have done an implementation for a client with the actual duration of implementation, and at the end of it, based on their requirement, we created some 3 to 4 parent product. And now whenever the business demands, the customer is able to create their own products because all necessary and sufficient conditions have been wrapped in as a parent. So if they want to create a product which is going to have a different interest rate, they can just create the interest component newly and can attach in the child product. So now the bank is easily able to create and maintain their own products. And another important benefit is that it is very easy now to maintain your contracts. With conventional banking system and all, we used to have a default. That is, whenever we define some parameter change in the product, it will immediately reflect in the contracts or transaction by default. Here, it is a default. There is a method for that. It is called tracking system, tracking child. With that type, it will work in as visual way. That is, whenever there is a change happen in your product, immediately it will reflect in your existing transactions and contracts. But transact here has another additional types. Like if you don't want such, don't want to derive that features in the existing contract, we can define them as non-tracking, so that no product change will not reflect in your existing contracts, whereas it will affect in your new contract. And we have another brilliant type, that is custom tracking. That is, you can define 1 or 2 attributes which must be derived from changed parameter condition, so that other attributes will not follow this tracking, whereas these attributes what you have defined, they will be tracked from your parameter change. And these changes, whatever we define, they can be easily controlled by the effective date. That is, say for example, if we want to do some change, let it be a rate change. If we want to do a rate change for contracts which have been booked after 1st December 2020, we can create a condition for that, rate change condition for that, so that only those contracts will derive that rate change, whereas other contracts will not. So such facility also is available here. This will reduce the effort of correction. If at all some manual error happens, we used to make some corrections, right, in our banks. That effort will be reduced due to this. Always we can define backdated and forward dated conditions. As I'll again take the example with rate. We can, as of today, I can define interest rate, which will be effective from 1st April 2021. Yeah. And also it helps you to minimize your local development effort. The base idea of Transact itself is to increase the percentage of configuration and to reduce the percentage of customization. And we have all these listed features will help that. We have single contract view in which we can see the complete information of a contract in a single screen. Let it be customer details, let it be interest rate related details, payment schedule related details, or what is the status of the contract and what is the outstanding balance of the contract. Everything we can see in a single screen now. And also we can do version, we can map version against activities. That is, if you want your back office user should be able to edit only interest rate field when we do a when he does rate change operation or rate change activity, that can be done through just a field mapping. That is configuration. And we have activity restriction. That is, we can define some restrictions for activity. For this, I'll explain with a use case that we succeeded. In UK region and all, we have a product called ISA, that is instant savings account. For that, a customer will have annual subscription level. He can do any investments either through account that is credit in the account or through deposits. But the overall limit of this credit for a year must be within a limit that is called annual subscription. Without Transact, that is the new functionalities in Transact, it would end up with some local developments, some good amount of local developments. But because of these new features, that is activity restriction, we were able to configure this product with with complete 80 to 85 percentage of configuration. We have done this. That is a very great improvement. And we can define negotiation rules at field levels. And also we have a lot of changes for local to attach local routines at different stages. In I take the example of T24. We used to have some 6 to 4 stages to attach your local routines like pre-authorization level or field validation level or at commitment level. Such kind of at these stages we used to attach local routines. Now it is possible to add pre-validation routine, and we can attach some post routine which will be triggered after we do some local API attachment. If you want to execute some post validation, that also we can. Uh, for that we have a field in which we can define that specific local routine. And also we can send messaging for a particular activity. For example, if a rate change happen, we can send messages to client, and it can be done through configuration. And also we have periodic attributes for fields. That is, if you want to define any periodical rule for a field, that also can be defined. And we can define activity specific charges. If you want to specify some charge, if for canceling a loan or pre-closure of your deposit, that also is possible now through configuration. And we have a lot of enhanced inquiries, and we can collect even periodic charges. If you want to collect some maintenance fee from your customer month on month or annually, if you want to collect that, it can be done through just mapping. And we have one more great feature, that is called simulation. That is, the customer and back office user can see what will happen if that particular contract gets committed. If a customer creates a new contract and if he wants to know what will be his interest rate and what is going to be his payment schedule and what will be the maturity date. If he wants to see all these information just before committing that contract, it is possible now through simulation. After seeing the result, it is his call whether to proceed with that or not. If he proceeds, we will commit that, and the actual contract will be created. Whereas if it is not his choice, he can easily drop that. And this facility is available even for existing contracts. That is, let it be a rate change, or let it be a product change, or let it be some edit in settlement instruction, or let it be a closure, account closure or deposit closure. And the customer wants to know what is going to be his outstanding balance owed, and what is going to be his interest if he close that contract as of today. He can simulate and see the results. If he is fine with that, he can proceed with the transaction, otherwise he can drop. So, in with all these such benefits that Transact has, and with all these, Temenos Transact focuses on fast product creation and minimal operation cost, and it focuses to maximize your profitability. Now let's see, there are a lot of features, key features in Temenos Transact, and we are going to see that one by one. Transact has eligibility definition. That is, we can define a product level eligibility condition now. That is, what should be the eligibility for a customer to avail a particular product. That can be defined here. And when and all this eligibility needs to be, we have to check that. For that, we can define checkpoints at a different level. We can have a checkpoint when we create a contract, or at periodic intervals. If we take the eligibility condition which is related with the ages, maybe they'll be off age 17 this year, but next year, the age should be rechecked. So for such eligibility checks can be defined as periodical, and we can have checkpoint when static date of customer record gets changed, and also we can have eligibility check when we do a rollover or change product. Points to be noted are these eligibility checks are configurable, and Transact has a list of ready-to-use eligibility rules. And I'll again tell you with an use case that, as I said, for ISA products in UK region, uh, there are some eligibility conditions to avail an ISA product, like the customer must be an individual, and the age must be greater than 18 years, and the customer must be a UK resident, kind of. So there are a lot of eligibility checks. The fact is that when we did an implementation for a client, we found that all these eligibility rules are already a part of Transact. So just a plugin helped us to implement this eligibility definition. So that is, that is a great benefit, right? And another very good feature is that enterprise pricing. That is, we can have different pricing for a single product. Always there will be base product pricing for any products, right? And on the top of that, we can have date specific pricing within the product. We can define that. And also we can have a currency specific pricing. That is, for dollars, it is different interest rate, and for euro, it is different interest rate that we can define. And we can define, like, from January, customers who invested in a product from January 2020, they get a different interest rate, whereas customers who invested in 1st June to 2020, they'll get different interest rate. If you want to define such product, it is easily configurable now. And similarly, we can have regional wise pricing. That is where the customer resides. Based on that, even we can have a different pricing, and we used to have different relationship. We will have a lot of classification of customer relationships based on their credit check, like platinum, gold, and silver. So we can have a different pricing for each type of customers. Similarly, we can define channel wise pricing. That is for mobile users, different price, and for internet users, web users, we can have a different price. Even we can create our own variations. Like if you want to apply different interest rate for a student and or a military people, we can create them as a variation, and then we can have a different price. And the on the top of all these, predefined pricing, we can very well negotiate this interest rate at contract level. And I would like to tell one in use case for the benefit of this particular feature, that we were in an implementation project, we could bring 200 legacy products into 15 transact products. Even it was a even it was very surprise even for us when we experiment things with transact. It was a surprise for us that we were able to bring 200 plus contracts into 15 transact products just because of this enterprise pricing. So such feature the transact has, and it has with the traditional banking solutions. We used to have sometimes even I just compare with Temenos own product, earlier product T24. In that, loan origination used to be out of core banking solution, and for loan creation we'll have one reference, that is commitment, and then for loan disbursements or drawings we'll have a separate reference, and for overdue process we used to have a separate module itself called past dues. And then to settle that past dues and all, we used to have a different reference for repayment process. It is difficult, right, to track that particular contract. It is difficult to see the effect of it. That is the entire journey. Now Transact makes it very simple that we can have a single reference for the entire journey. We can have single reference, and also it has a benefit that we can bundle different contracts. Say a customer has 3 different type of accounts, 2 different deposits and 1 lending products in a bank. And after a time, if a bank feels that it should be monitored together for some reason, I'm not sure whether all banks will have this functionality. However, if your business demands at least for a monitoring purpose, we can easily bundle all these contracts together, and one contract is going to act as a master contract, and we can define consolidated interest rate for that. Also, we can add or remove these contracts at any time from the bundle. That also is possible. And we have enhanced rollover and change product features in Transact now. This rollover or change product can happen by defining a period. That is, you can define like the customer invests this year. After 2 years, if you want to switch that particular deposit to some another product and to adapt new features, we can easily define. In the same way, we can define rollover or change product by defining a date. That is from 1st May 2021, the product of that contract will move to another product. Such definition also is possible. And if the bank decides to send prior message to the customer, like your contract, so-called contract will move from fixed term deposit 1 year to fixed term deposit 3 year, kind of notification if we want to send, that we can configure. And we know, right, the purpose of change product itself is to adapt new parameters, right? So that will happen. And these rollover and change products can be forward dated. That is, as of now, I can define a product should be moved to another product from 1st May. It is possible. And for this also, I have a couple of use cases that for a project, it helps us to avoid co processing. because if we are able to create future dated change product definition, I no need to keep my queue like these contracts needs to be defined for a change product functionality as of today's code. I no need to define that, because when I input the contract, when I do some operations in the contract, that time it is a I can input in the online itself like there is a future dated change product function for this particular contract that I can define, right? So it eliminates the need for co-processing. And also, we it allows to send the pre-notice, which means we'll ensure like the maturity instructions are captured for a client. And again, it's for a UK client. For them, they used to send pre-notice 14 days prior to the maturity date, and it is like their product design is like that. That is, the customer will decide whether the product should have a payout or a rollover. Only 14 days prior, they'll inform to the bank. Till that, the bank will not know what should happen on the maturity date. So for such cases, this prior notice was very helpful for us. Yeah, as we discussed initially, we faced the new normal situation, and it demanded some enhanced functionality in the banking industry, like payment holiday, which will facilitate the banks to allow customers to skip payments based on banks. Bank can define their own rules. Based on that, this particular facility was given to the customers. And also, some banks needed negative interest rate and fee waivers, right? So Temenos understood that need, and recently they developed all these features. With this payment holiday, after this payment holiday, we have to decide, right, how to collect the outstanding balance from the customers. Whether we have to recalculate the payment amount, or whether we have to collect the entire residual amount on maturity date, or whether to recalculate the term, or should we have a recalculated progressive payment, or whether to cap the maturity date first and then recalculate the payment amount. So there is a chance for multiple options, and Transact has a very defined functionality for each of these options. And also, it is possible to define multiple holiday payment definition. We can define multiple start date, and from that particular date, 3 months holiday for payments. We can do that. A single contract can have multiple payment holidays. This is what I said about the solution for new normal. And then we have enhanced overdue process. With the traditional banking and even with T24 and all, we used to have aging process for overdue, like pre-grace period, grace period, overdue, overdue and NAP kind of, right? So these stages earlier used to be as by the number of days. Now Transact brings one another option that even we can define that by number of bills. If there are two bills pending, maybe the contract can go to overdue stage, kind of. We can define either by bills or by number of days. And banks can create their own overdue stages apart from grace, overdue, and non-NAB stage. NAB, that is non-accrual based stages. If they want to introduce some more stages like delinquent, or if they want to define different stages for write-offs, such things, we can introduce any number of overdue stages, and hence we can have different balances for different stages. That is very easy now. Tracking what balance the contract holds for each balance. It is easier now because it will be recorded as per the aging status. And also we can have different status rules for different products. If you want to launch product 1 with 3 different overdue stages like NAV, overdue, and grace, whereas you need product 2 with 5 different stages like pre-grace, grace, overdue, NAV, and then write-off. We can create that. Each product can have different aging status. And also this overdue process obviously will end with suspended income, right? At a stage it will affect in suspended income. If we can define in Transact, we can define the stage whether the income should be suspended at overdue stage itself or at gray or at NAB status. That definition we can make. And also we can create, we can define a tolerance level, that is up to which amount there should not be a overdue process. If there is a due for $1,000 or 2,000 bucks, there is no need of overdue process. If that is the requirement, our requirement, we can easily configure that. And I have given some features of accounts and accounting related points here. We can have Transact has dormancy, that is we can define bank can define their own dormancy status. Normally it will be active and inactive. If we want to create much more statuses, we can define. And we can have activity based dormant status, that is maybe the bank will have the different type of credits. Yeah. Now, in ideal case, whenever there is no credit happen or whenever there is no transaction happens, we'll mark that contract as inactive. But if we need some specific definition, like if we have four different type of credit transactions, but we are going to consider only two type of credit transactions as of for dormancy process, we can define that. And also we can produce pre-notices for such dormancy related activities. And also we can define notice amount and notice period at product level. That is, we can create a notice account for 1 month, notice account for 2 months. Such products we can create. So that, it will be defaulted. If we create an account, we can classify whether we are going to offer 1 month notice period for that account or 2 month notice account for that account. Based on that, we can create one child product, and so that all the contracts which will follow, which will be booked under that product, will get 1 month notice period by default. How it will help? It will help, in a massive way at reporting side. That is, you can easily see what is your income out of 1 month notice period products, what is your income out of 2 month notice period products. Such grouping or classification is very well possible now. And this also, I have a use case for this also. That is, we had a requirement from a client, for these notice accounts. And earlier and all, they used to have multiple products for each type of notice accounts. And due to this parent child and product level notice definitions, we could bring the number down. And also we can have activity specific credit check. We also can have a tolerance. Normally we used to collect overdue fees and non-functional fees, right? So if we want to define some tolerance for that, up to which amount there should not be any fees collected, that also we can define. And another feature is that soft accounting. Transact has soft accounting. Bank can define their own accounting events and allocation rules. I'll bring that with an example. That if you want, we used to have adjustments for interest and charges, right? Like a current year interest, current year adjustment, or previous year adjustment, previous month adjustment, kind of. If we want to have them, those adjustment at different profit and loss head, it is very well possible through, configuration. Product level, we can have, we can define them at product level itself. So different products can have different PLN category for interest and charges. Well, now we got a clear insight about Temenos Transact, and we are familiar with all its benefits, and we have a clear understanding about its different key features. With that, if your business needs or your new business demands you to transform your system into Temenos Transact, we are bringing three different options. It can be any one of these approach you can follow. If you are a new client, that is, if you are not with T24 or earlier Temenos Transact releases, it is going to be a new implementation for you. For that, Temenos you know, publish different releases at different period. So you have to choose the best fit for your business needs. You have to analyze your business requirements, and based on that, you have to see the functionality coverage in each release, and accordingly, you have to find the best fit for your bank. If you are an existing T24 or Transact client, you have to decide, what kind of enhanced features you need for your business. That you have to analyze, and based on that, you will choose the release, the best fit release, where the relevant enhanced functionality is available. Based on that, we can do a release upgrade. We have another option, that is module upgrade. And this option is only for an existing Transact clients. And the bank can decide, we have to decide whether that new requirement is only for deposit, only for a new module like deposit. So we have to analyze that, and if it is confirmed that yes, we need only the enhanced functionality in deposit module alone, in that case we can go for module upgrade. For this also we need some basic analysis, like which release has the relevant enhanced features. That we have to decide, and accordingly we can go for module upgrade. In fact, we Maverick has another webinar for this upgrade process, like what should be the preparation before a module, before an upgrade to Transact, and what are the things you have to consider before an upgrade. Such things are already we have prepared a webinar, and it is already available in our database. You can refer that very well before you go with your choice of moving to Temenos Transact. Well, with that, we are at the end of this presentation. I hope this is going to be very useful to adapt this new product, Temenos Transact, for your business needs. I hope, I hope this is going to be very useful for your business, and you can reach out as Maverick for any kind of clarifications on this. With that, let's move to the question and answer session. I'm waiting for your questions.
Thank you, Roslyn, for sharing insights on Temenos Transact for retail banking. We are now ready to move on to the Q&A part of our session. I want to remind you that you can still submit your questions through the question pane in the GoToWebinar control panel. So the first question is it possible to upgrade a functional component alone, for example, deposit alone to Transact? Is it possible to upgrade a functional component alone, for example, deposit alone to Transact?
Thank you, Saurabh, for that question. Yes, it is possible. As I said, now each component can work independently, right? And to add on, deposit Temenos Transact has a separate module, and it has all this functionality together with that particular module, and hence it is when you can you can analyze your requirements, and you can refer the different releases of Transact, and you can find the best fit for your requirements. After that, you can request Temenos, and you can upgrade only to that particular module. It is very well possible. Thank you for that question. And Saurabh, do we have anything in the queue?
Yes. So our next question is, What will be the effort to create a new product by Transact? I'll repeat that again. What will be the effort to create a new product by Transact?
Yeah, thank you, Saurabh. In fact, it is case by case. If you are going to create a fresh new product with all, if you want to start from components, it will need the actual effort of a product based on its complexity and all. Uh, we have to assess we have to assess what kind of components it's required and what kind of local developments we are going to add with that. Such things plays a role. But if you have a parent, if you are following a parent-child product, and if you have a parent with all other necessary components already with you with your product, say interest, payment schedules, or accounts, commitment, everything. If you have all the other components together, and as a parent, and if you are going to introduce one new feature, let it be a periodic interest rate. If you are going to collect periodic automatic interest rate for that new product, you can implement that alone in the interest condition, and then you can create a child product, right? In that case, your effort is going to be very less. I mentioned about a use case like a client is now creating their own products, right? Child product. For that, they are taking just 1 month time, including the test, testing effort. So, if it is a built-in product and we are going to create a child product, the effort will be very less. Thank you for this question. And Saurabh, do we have anything in the queue now?
Yes. How Transact helps if we need to introduce two products with same features but different interests. How Transact helps if we need to introduce two products with same features but different interests.
Thank you, Saurabh. Well, actually, the requirement is very clear in this question. All other attributes are same, right? So in that case, we can create a parent with all those common attributes. Yeah. We'll take an example of different interest rate. So we'll say a product is going to have a fixed interest rate, whereas another product is going to have floating interest rate. Okay, so if all other attributes is common to them, we can create a product first with a common payment schedule, with a common commitment, and with a common interest, and with common messaging, and with common restrictions. Everything we can put in the product in the parent, and we can create just an interest component for a product separately, and periodic floating interest component for another child product, and we can use we can merge them and start to use them. It is such simple now. So this parent child concepts will give a great effect when we'll do implementation projects and all. It will help us a lot to reduce our implementation cost. In fact, yeah, that's how it serves. Thank you. Thank you for this question. And Saurabh, do we have anything in the list?
No, Rosalind, I think that was the last question for today's session.
Thank
So
you.
I'd like to thank you and appreciate your time for our webinar today. Just to remind you once again, we will share the webinar recording to all the registrants through a follow email in the next 48 hours. Also,